Here's a harsh truth. Your savings account is a scam. You think you're being responsible by putting money in it, but that single action is making you poorer every day. Based on today's numbers, your $10,000 emergency fund is guaranteed to lose $372 in purchasing power this year. How is this happening, and what is the one move that reverses the damage? So before we jump into the video, comment down below, where do you keep your current savings? I keep my own emergency fund in a high-yield savings account with E-Trade. It took me longer than it should have to make that switch. Because most people save money and stop there, but saving and storing are two different steps. Most people never make it to step 2. The average savings account pays around 0.38% right now. On $10,000, that's about $38 in a year. That's not interest. That's a tip. Meanwhile, rent moves, groceries move, insurance moves. Your balance went up, but what that money can actually buy went down. That's the trap. I spent years working around retirement accounts, and I kept seeing the same thing over and over. Someone would call in managing over $200,000 in their retirement portfolio, really on top of the long-term stuff, knew exactly what they owned, how it was allocated, and their emergency fund, sitting in a regular savings account earning almost nothing, never thought to question it. That's not a rare case. That's the pattern. People do the hard part. They save. Then they park it in the weakest possible place and forget about it. The mistake is thinking every dollar you save has the same job. It doesn't. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly where each dollar belongs, and it's not stocks, crypto, or anything complicated. Here's why people miss this. You open the app, the number's still there, same as last month, same as last year. Your brain reads that as safe, but the app shows you your balance. It doesn't show you your buying power. Those are two completely different things. Your balance looks like it grew. The app shows green. But if prices went up around 4%, that same balance buys less than it did 12 months ago. You didn't spend anything. You didn't make a mistake. You did the responsible thing. And you still lost ground. That's what makes this so hard to catch. No alert, no notification. The app just shows a number that looks fine. But fine isn't the same as working. A regular savings account isn't dangerous. It's just not doing the job most people think it's doing. Same $10,000, same emergency fund, same person, two different decisions. Decision 1, leave the money at a regular bank earning the national average. At around 0.38%, that's about $38 for the entire year. Decision 2, move that same $10,000 into a strong high-yield savings account. The money's still cash, still there for emergencies. Not in the stock market, not locked away, not in some weird product nobody understands. Just in a better savings account. At around 4.15%, that same $10,000 earns about $415 in a year. That one move doesn't make you rich, but it changes the game. The regular account lets inflation punch a hole through your emergency fund. The high-yield account puts your money back on defense. And if you find a top-rate account closer to 5%, your cash has a real shot at staying ahead before taxes. The goal isn't to get cute with your emergency fund. The goal is to stop letting lazy cash get robbed while you're trying to be responsible. But don't just chase the highest APY. That's where people accidentally pick the wrong account. A high-yield savings account isn't some secret rich person strategy. It's just a savings account that pays you more. That's it. Online banks can usually offer higher rates because they don't have the same expensive branch network. No giant marble building on every corner. So instead of paying you almost nothing, they compete for your deposits with a better rate. This is where people overthink it. They hear online bank and immediately think it's sketchy. I get it. If you're putting your emergency fund somewhere, you don't want to feel like you're sending your money into the void. But the building doesn't protect your money. Insurance does. FDIC insurance for banks, NCUA insurance for credit unions, that's what matters. If the account's properly insured and you stay within the covered limits, your money's protected. Not whether the bank has a nice lobby. Not whether your parents use the same bank. Not whether there's a branch 5 minutes from your house that you never walk into anyway. Now here's the part. Nobody checks until they actually need the money. High-yield savings accounts aren't magic. There are catches. Not scary ones. Just rules you need to understand. The first catch is that the rate's variable. If the account's paying around 4.15% right now, that can change. It moves with the interest rate environment. Don't treat that number like it's locked forever. This isn't a CD, it's not a fixed contract, it's a flexible savings account. But here's what matters. Even if the rate drops, I'd rather earn 3% or 4% than let my money sit at 0.38%. That's not a hard decision. The second catch is transfer speed. Some accounts let you move money fast. Some take 1 to 3 business days. That matters. If your car breaks down on a Friday night, you don't want your emergency fund trapped behind a slow transfer while you're stressed out. The best account isn't always the one with the highest APY. For emergency money, the list is simple. Fast transfers, clean app, no monthly fees, no minimums, solid rate, in that order. Because the one account you never think about has to be the one that works perfectly, the one time you actually need it. And that's exactly what your bank is counting on. The bank doesn't need you to be broke. It just needs you to forget. You opened the account years ago. Paycheck hits, money sits there. Nobody forces you to check the rate. So the bank gets cheap deposits and you get crumbs. That's why this matters. Not because high-yield savings is exciting, it's not. It's boring. But boring money leaks are still leaks, and moving your money is only half the fix. The next part is knowing which money belongs where. This is where most people mess it up. They hear high-yield savings and think every dollar should go there. No, different money needs different jobs. This is how I think about it. Money I might need fast, needs access. Money I need soon needs safety. Money I don't need for years needs growth. Your emergency fund has one job: protect you from chaos. Job loss, car repair, medical bill, a surprise expense that would normally send you straight to a credit card. For that money, I care about access first. 3 to 6 months of expenses. No monthly fee, no minimum balance, easy transfers, clean app, solid rate. That's the emergency fund bucket. Then there are short-term goals: house down payment, car fund, wedding, vacation, anything you might need in the next 1 to 3 years. That money usually shouldn't be in the stock market. I know that's boring. Somebody on the internet's going to tell you to throw it in the S&P 500. But if you need it soon, you don't have time to wait out a market drop. If your house fund drops 20% right when you need it, that's not investing. That's self-sabotage with better branding. For short-term goals, a high-yield savings account can make sense. A money market account can make sense. A CD can make sense if you know you won't need the money before the term ends. The key is matching the tool to the job. Emergency fund money needs access. Short-term goal money needs safety and yield. Long-term money needs growth. And long-term money is where investing comes in. Not your rent money, not your emergency money, not the cash you need in 6 months. Here's how I think about my own cash. I keep my emergency fund in a high-yield savings account that's easy to access, has no annoying minimums, and doesn't make me fight the app when I need my money. That money's not trying to get rich. It's got one job: keep me from going backward. Then money for a specific short-term goal sits somewhere a little more rate-focused, as long as it's still safe and I understand the access rules. 2 accounts, 2 jobs, both working. That's the part most people miss. The best place for your money isn't one account. It's the account that matches what that money's supposed to do. And there's one boring detail most people forget until tax season hits. Interest is usually taxable. If your high yield account pays you $415, Uncle Sam's going to want a piece of that. You may get a 1099 INT. You may have to report the interest. That doesn't ruin the strategy. It just means you should know the rule before it surprises you. Earning $415 before taxes is still a lot better than earning $38 before taxes. Don't let a small tax bill scare you away from earning more. That's like refusing overtime because taxes exist. Bad logic. Take the higher interest. Understand the rule. Keep moving. Here's exactly what I'd do today. Here's the game plan. You can do this in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. Step 1, open your banking app and check the interest rate on your savings account, not the balance, the rate. That's the number that tells you whether your money's working or sleeping. Step 2, search for the best high-yield savings accounts. Use Bankrate, NerdWallet, or another trusted comparison site. You're looking for 4 things: FDIC or NCUA insurance, no monthly fees, easy access, and a competitive APY. Step 3, don't freeze over tiny differences. This is where people lose. They spend 3 weeks comparing 4.1% versus 4.15% versus 4.25%. Meanwhile, their money's still sitting at 0.38%. That's losing the game while reading the rulebook. Pick a reputable insured account. Open it. Step 4, move the correct money. Emergency fund first. Not every dollar. Not your rent money. Not money that needs to clear tomorrow. Move the cash that's supposed to protect you. Step 5, automate it. Set a recurring transfer. Even $25, even $50, even $100. The amount matters less than the habit at the beginning. Once the system's built, your money starts moving without you needing motivation every week. That's the win. Not hype, not panic, a boring system that quietly stops the leak. Once you do this, the whole way you see cash changes. Here's the difference between 2 people with the same starting point. Person 1 saves every month. The money sits in a regular account. The balance looks fine. They feel responsible. But year after year, inflation quietly takes the edge off what that money can actually do. They never noticed. They never questioned it. The app always looked fine. Person 2 saves the same amount, but they give every dollar a job. Emergency fund in a high-yield account, short-term money somewhere safe, long-term money invested. Same income, same discipline, completely different outcome. And that's the whole point. You don't need to get fancy with this. You just need to stop letting your cash sit somewhere lazy. So before you click off, do one thing. Open your banking app and check the rate on your savings account, not the balance. The rate, if your cash is sitting there earning almost nothing, comment sleeping. If it's already in a high-yield account, comment working. And if you're still figuring it out, comment stuck. I want to see where everyone's at because this is usually the first money leak people find. And once you get this set up, the next move is figuring out where your long-term money should go because saving forever is not the goal either. I've got videos on this channel breaking down investing, budgeting, and the exact order your money should move in. So check one of those out next. If this helped, hit the like and subscribe if you want to keep building without gambling, guessing, or pretending to be a finance expert. I'll see you there later.